everybody, to the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Hub podcast. My name is Metal Mike, and we are going to get into the big news that came out yesterday on June 1st, the trades that have happened. I mean, we're getting closer to the 2026 NFL season. It is June 2nd, and we knew that one big move was going to happen yesterday. But then we got caught off guard on Sunday afternoon when the rumors started flying around between the Browns and the Rams. Yeah. So, we're going to get into that stuff. We will. First things first, make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Hub podcast over on social media. Over on TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're going to hit that follow button. Over on the YouTube, you're going to hit the subscribe button. That's how you follow on the YouTube. And, of course, over on Twitch, you're going to hit the follow button as well. All of our social media links are in the Twitch bio. You just go click on the one that you desire to go to and help us build the Huddle Hub podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. Okay? I dropped my pen. And I need my pen. You would think that I would have multiple pens on my desk for in case something like that happens, right? And me having ADHD, I mean, I'm sitting here finagling with my pen throughout the whole show. Like, it's just what I do. I'm focused on talking to you guys, the listeners, but you get that when you're hosting a show, it's like you kind of get that little like nervous ADHD tick, and it's like, man, like I need to do something with my hands. And you think I would mess around with my fidget spinner that I don't know where it's at. I think it's up on the shelf above me here, but I don't want like that sound of that whizzing. Okay, so hold on. So I don't want that coming through. Yeah. Okay. And even if I'm like away from the microphone, I still hear it. I don't know if you guys do, but I still hear it. And it would distract me more. So I mess around with my pen. Now I got to put the fidget spinner out of my sight because I'll mess with it. So I finagle with my pen. And I'll sit here and like literally just click it. So maybe I should get one of those like fidget clickers. Like that's what I'm thinking about doing instead of messing with my pen and the opportunity of dropping it. So yeah, so I dropped my pen during the promo, and yeah, so let's get into it. UFL, okay? Now, week 10 was a crazy week in the UFL. As I said on Sunday, the Dallas Renegades on Friday night broke their 6-game losing streak against the St. Louis Battlehawks. It did not affect the St. Louis Battlehawks at all as far as the playoffs. They already clinched. It was all about seeding. And realistically, the Battlehawks weren't even in the mix for a seeding change. They were the number 2 seed. It was all about the 3rd and 4th seed, the Louisville Kings, the DC Defenders, and the Birmingham Stallions going into Saturday. But then Birmingham ended up losing Saturday, and Louisville clinched. Louisville clinched the playoffs without even playing yet. So we get into Sunday and the action on Sunday afternoon. First off, the Orlando Storm in their back-to-back matchups with the DC Defenders. Matchup number 2. The Orlando Storm defeated the DC Defenders for a second straight week in a row, 29-23. Jason Bean of the DC Defenders, 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let me see if I can bring up the full recap of stats for this game. I'm sure I could. That's the other thing about their website is they need to fix this to where if I hit back, I go back to where I want to be, not have to click through everything. But it is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. So as far as Jason Bean from the DC Defenders, 13-28, 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 46.4 completion percentage with a 47.5 rating in the loss to the Orlando Storm. Jack Plummer of the Storm, 13-26, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 50% completion percentage with a 101.9 rating. Great game by Jack Plummer of the Orlando Storm. and the Orlando Storm finish the regular season 8-9, while the DC Defenders wrap up their season at 5-5. We'll get into talking about the DC Defenders and the Orlando Storm in a moment, but we had another game on Sunday, which was between the Louisville Kings and the Columbus Aviators. Now, the Aviators not playing for anything, pretty much just trying to play for a win, while the Louisville Kings already clinched a playoff spot with the Birmingham Stallions losing. But Louisville was still playing for seeding, because if they would have lost, then the DC Defenders would have moved into third place. The Kings would have moved down to fourth place, and the Kings took care of business, keeping themselves in that third place area with the win against the Columbus Aviators, 42-27. Jalen Morton of the Columbus Aviators, 14-38, 221 yards, a touchdown, an interception, with a 36.8 completion percentage, 54.8 rating. Over for the Louisville Kings, we had two quarterbacks play in this game. N'Kosi Perry, 8 of 13, 89 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, 61.5 completion percentage with a 107.5 rating. And then Mike DeLilio came in 6 for 8, 58 yards, 75% completion percentage with a 94.8 rating in the win over the Columbus Aviators. So that wrapped up the regular season. The standings, as far as the final standings for the UFL season, the Orlando Storm finished in first place at 8-2. The St. Louis Battlehawks in second place at 6-4. The Kings in third place at 6-4. And the DC Defenders in fourth place at 5-5. In fifth place, the Houston Gamblers. Sixth place, Birmingham Stallions. Seventh place, Dallas Renegades, all finishing 4-6. And the Columbus Aviators in last place at 3-7. That's eighth place. And that takes us and leads us to the semifinal playoffs coming up this Sunday, June 7th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. The 5-5 DC Defenders head out to Orlando to take on the 8-2 Orlando Storm for a third week in a row. The Storm and the Defenders for a third week in a row as the number 1 team plays the number 4 team. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Fox, the 6-4 Louisville Kings head out to St. Louis to take on the 6-4 Battlehawks. And then on Saturday, June 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC is the championship game with the winners of the semifinals facing off. Me and John with our pick challenge, ending the regular season. I finished 21-19, John 23-17, but it's not over yet. Why? Because we are picking for the playoffs. We are picking for the playoffs, and basically, I need to win out these next 3 games to win the pick challenge. Need to win out. Now, if John wins 1 game, then I have to win. If John wins 1 game, that'll give him 24 wins. So I need to win out to win. Now, here's the thing is I'm 21-19. He's 23-17. So it's basically John wins 1 game and he wins the pick challenge. But if I win these next 2 games, we go into the championship round with the tie. Okay? Crazy. This is almost like the NFL pick challenge. Almost like the NFL pick challenge to where going into the postseason, I was up by 1 game, and then John just ran away with it in the playoffs. So the UFL playoffs definitely going to be a great playoff this year. And if you are not watching the UFL, you need to get on it. I'm telling you. I've been saying this all season. It has been a great year in the UFL, and a lot of surprising things have happened. A lot of surprising things have happened this season. The Dallas Renegades, the hottest team in the first 3 weeks, and then just dropped 6 games in a row. Crazy. Nuts. Orlando Storm taking over. Crazy. Crazy. So, again, semifinal matchups. DC Defenders. The 5-5 DC Defenders take on the 8-2 Orlando Storm on Sunday, June 7th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, June 7th, the 6-4 Louisville Kings head out to St. Louis to take on the 6-4 Louisville St. Louis Battlehawks. So on Fox. So the semifinals are here. And then the UFL Championship on Saturday, June 13th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. And we will definitely talk more about the semifinal matchups on the Sunday edition of the Huddle Hub podcast. And then next Tuesday, we will preview the championship game because, it'll have happened by the time we get to the Sunday edition next week. So, or the following week. Sorry. So that's that for the UFL. Guys, I'm going to say this right now. June 1st was yesterday, obviously. It is June 2nd today. And we knew all of the stuff that was being rumored coming out of Philadelphia, coming out of New England. And then there was talks about other teams in talks with Philadelphia for A.J. Brown. But the Rams and the Browns, that didn't start until Sunday. Which caught me completely off guard. Crazy. And surprising. Before we get into it, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a 30-second break here. And then we're going to get into it here on the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Hub podcast. Guys, make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Hub podcast over on TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're going to hit the follow button. Over on the YouTube, you're going to hit that subscribe button. That's how you follow on the YouTube. And, of course, all of our social media links are in the Twitch bio. You just go click on the one you desire to go to because I know not everybody uses every social media outlet. And help us build the Huddle Hub podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. Okay, so yesterday was a crazy, crazy day. Just to give you guys a little heads up right now, we do not have a player spotlight today. I didn't work on one this week when I should have because I'll be honest, I had the time. But I really did not know. What player I should spotlight. I didn't know. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do the player spotlight this week, and I just got to make sure and rely on rely on the fact that news is going to come out post June 1st. I was solely relying on yesterday. Because if I didn't have a player spotlight and no news came out, we were just talking UFL and then we were getting the hell out of here. That was it. We would have been here 20 minutes and done. But then yesterday happened. And I was like, oh, thank you to the football gods, whatever you want to call them, for this news just coming out. Now, I know not a lot of people are happy about this. Number one, Cleveland fans are not happy about this. But you should be. Some Philly fans are not happy about this. But you should be. Some Patriots fans, all Patriots fans are happy about this. Let's just make it that. And Rams fans are happy. Simple as that. Rams and Patriots fans, they're happy. Eagles and Browns fans, some of them may not be. May not be. Let's get into the rest of the news first before we get talking into these trades, though. Number one, the Giants, they went out and made some moves as of yesterday, signing 3 wide receivers to their roster. Number one, Braxton Berrios signed a 1-year deal. Juju Smith-Schuster signed, and Odell Beckham Jr. is making his return to the New York Giants. Odell Beckham Jr., number one, Odell Beckham Jr. returning to the Giants. It's a cool little nostalgia act, I think. I don't think he's going to be very productive. He hasn't had over a 500-yard season since 2018. He hasn't played a snap of football since 2024. This is a mentorship move, I think. This is a nostalgia move for fans of Odell Beckham Jr. in New York to be happy. And plus, Odell said it himself, he never wanted to leave New York. Never wanted to. And rightfully so. Some players don't want to leave where they're originally from. Von Miller's trying to get back to Denver. He originally started his career in Denver. So rightfully so, right? The Braxton Berrios thing, I'll say this right now. Do I think he makes the roster? Maybe. He might be a return guy. Odell Beckham Jr., does he make the roster? Yeah, more of a mentorship. Does Juju Smith-Schuster make the roster? Yes. Yes. Simple as that. I looked at the Giants wide receiver room yesterday and I forgot how depth they are. But the question is who is going to be in the spot that Malik Nabers would be in? Who's going to be that number one in New York? Calvin Austin? Maybe. Juju? No. Yes. Juju, I think, would be more of the slot guy. Odell's not going to be the number one. Braxton Berrios sure as hell ain't going to be the number one. So the question is who's the number one? And that's something that the Giants, I know, are going to probably figure out in the next 2 months. The one thing that doesn't help them, though, is they have guys going down in OTAs, tearing their Achilles and being out for the year. That doesn't help. 3 guys last week in OTAs went down with their Achilles. That's not good. And when John Harbaugh signed with the Giants, you heard Giants fans, we're going to the playoffs. No, you're not. You are not going to have that big of a turnaround of a season. I'm sorry. You still got to figure out whether Malik Nabers is going to even be able to come back in 2026. Cam Scattaboo, I mean, the guy's sitting there saying he can make as much money, if not more, streaming. If I was a Giants fan, I'd be worried about that, knowing that he was part of your run game for the future. And Jackson Dart, the guy can't stay out of concussion protocol. But John Harbaugh came in, you're going right to the playoffs. No. I'm sorry. 6-11 at best. One more win than last year. 2, if that, 7-10. But you ain't making the playoffs. I'm sorry. And I'm not just saying this because I'm an Eagles fan. But you ain't going to the playoffs. You'll improve. You will show improvement and win 1 or 2 more games than you did last year. I will give the Giants that. You might even do better than Dallas. But you ain't going to the playoffs. Not going to the playoffs. Not happening. Russell Wilson, he is the new part. Russell Wilson is now part of the CBS Sports analyst team. Russell Wilson signed a contract with CBS Sports to be a sports analyst. It is yet to be known whether it's just going to be football. It just titled him as a sports analyst, which means he may cover other things on CBS other than just football. So Russell Wilson joining the CBS Sports analyst team. Congratulations to him. I mean, no team was going to pick up Russell Wilson. I mean, any team that would... Let's put it this way. Russell Wilson is still a free agent. So, yes, he could still be picked up and go play football. He can. But I don't think any team is desperate enough to go sign him at this point. He lost that aura in Seattle. Yeah, he had a decent year in Pittsburgh when he was there, but he lost his aura in Seattle. He went to Denver, and that was it. So a team's going to have to be super desperate to go sign him. Bottom line. But I think Russell Wilson is done in football. Unless a team gets desperate. Like the Colts did last year bringing in Phillip Rivers. And that's not a knock on the Colts. That's me being serious. A team would have to be super desperate. Bottom line. But I don't see anybody at this point signing Russell Wilson. He's done. Career's done. Josh Jacobs, running back of the Packers, after being arrested last week and released from jail on a $1,350 bond, is practicing at OTAs today. Head coach Matt LaFleur said it in an interview that Josh Jacobs was going to be practicing in OTAs today. So Josh Jacobs is back on the field. Obviously, all of the allegations against him are still allegations. He is, innocent until proven guilty. But I'm sure we'll hear more about his allegations further down the line. But as of right now, things are kind of quiet. And he is in Packers uniform and in the backfield running in OTAs. So Josh Jacobs at practice. Edge rusher of the Seattle Seahawks, Derek Hall, got a 3-year, $42 million extension, $21 million guaranteed. So Derek Hall will be in Seattle through 2029 or 2030. This is a good pickup for the Seattle Seahawks to keep a defensive player there. That was a impactful one for their defense. Defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, Vic Fangio, is up for the Paul Zimmerman Award. The Paul Zimmerman Award is an award and a lifetime award for assistant coaches' achievements. So congratulations to Vic Fangio for becoming a recipient of the Paul Zimmerman Award for his assistant coaching skills. Crazy good. I mean, me being an Eagles fan, I'm happy we have Vic. I am. I mean, the minute I heard we were getting him 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. And it happened, and we won. So, but I try and stay as unbiased as I can here on this show because this is a football show. This isn't a Philadelphia Eagles show. This isn't a Penn State show. This show is for the football fan. This is not just for the Eagles fans, the Penn State fans. That's what this show's about. This is for a league-wide. So I try and be as unbiased as I can be. And I'm unbiased as it is when in real life. Like, yes, I'm an Eagles and Penn State fan, but I'm not afraid to admit when my team is doing bad. So, that's pretty much being unbiased in a sense. So now let's get into the big news that happened yesterday. The first trade that happened between the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams trading for Myles Garrett, edge rusher Myles Garrett. In return, the Browns received Jarrett Verse, a 2027 first-round draft pick, and it was a 2027 first-round draft pick, 2028 second-round, and a 2029 third-round draft pick. So the Rams giving up some draft stock for Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, 30 years old, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, single-season sack record holder. I mean, the Rams basically got themselves the biggest gem on the defensive side of the ball. Bottom line, they are playing for a Super Bowl. At this point, they are now showing that they are playing to win the Super Bowl this year. Now, are they the favorites to win? Maybe. There are other good teams out there. And one player isn't going to come in and do everything. Like, bottom line is Myles Garrett is a hell of a defensive player. Best defensive player in football. But he can't do everything. He can't. So, the bottom line is yes, this is a great move for the Rams. But this is also a great move for the Browns. Jarrett Verse was being compared to Myles Garrett when he got drafted, right? He won off a Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he's 25 years old. So the Browns basically hit the restart button with the comparison. So both teams won in this trade. And the Browns earning the draft picks they got for Myles Garrett, this is good insurance just in case Jarrett Verse does not work out. Let's say a year from now, let's say 2 years from now, Jarrett Verse it doesn't live up to what the Browns are looking for. They now have the draft capital to go out and get the player that they are truly looking for to fit that void. And they can also move Jarrett Verse. So this is a great move for both teams. Great move for both teams. I got goosebumps when this move happened. Literal goosebumps when this trade happened. But great move for both teams. Great move. I know fans in the NFC West are not happy about this. John, he's a 49ers fan. He's not happy about this. Why? Because the Rams and the 49ers play each other twice a year. So now the 49ers have to face Myles Garrett twice a year. But also the teams that have to play the Rams this year. Yeah. Couldn't stay in the AFC. Now, let's go to the NFC. Let's wreak havoc on the NFC. Now, couldn't just settle for 5 times a year. Nope. We now have to do it 12 times a year. Pretty much. Pretty much. It moved from him wreaking havoc on the NFC 5 times a year to now 12 times a year. And only 5 times a year on the AFC. So, crazy. About 2 hours later, the anticipated move that we've talked about for months, the Philadelphia Eagles and New England Patriots finally make their deal. The Philadelphia Eagles sending wide receiver A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots, in return getting a 2028 first-round draft pick and a 2027 fifth-round draft pick. I think this is good. I think this is good compensation. I do. The Eagles at least got a first-round pick out of it. Yeah, it's for the 2028 draft in Minnesota. 2027 draft is in Washington, so they earned a fifth-round pick from it. So this is actually a pretty good move. This is a great move because you think of it, yeah, they still got to eat some of the money from A.J. Brown's contract. Okay? So, but now it's being put, the Patriots are going to be put in the position in about a year or two whether they want to re-sign A.J. Brown or not. And A.J. Brown is what, 27 years old, 28 years old? He's been in the league for a little bit now, played in Tennessee, got traded to Philly, and now he's out in New England. So this is actually a good move for both teams. And the news of teams didn't want to give up the first-round draft pick for A.J. Brown, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman would have given him up for anything less than a first-round pick in either of the next 3 drafts, 27, 28, or 29. Got a 28 draft pick. Now, I have a feeling that Howie was trying for a 27 draft pick, first round, but there was no budge, so he settled for the 2028, which, you think of it, still going to have Mekhi Lemon, obviously, on the rookie contract. Devontae Smith is going to be there, and his 5th-year option, I believe, is already up or is coming up. and he'll stay in Philly. Hollywood Brown, Dontavian Wicks is there. Guys that can be productive. So it's honestly, things are fine in Philly. A.J. Brown being moved out, for some fans, like myself, it stinks. Would have loved to have A.J. Brown in an Eagles uniform in 2026, but this is a business, and these things happen. Just as long as the team goes out and reassures the fact that they are going to find the voids to fill that spot, then it's okay. And that is exactly what Howie Roseman did, was go and fill those voids and fill the spot of A.J. Brown. Now, can you say that Mekhi Lemon, Hollywood Brown, or Dontavian Wicks, or Devontae Smith is, physically like A.J. Brown? No. They're much smaller guys. Mekhi Lemon's got the height. He can get up and grab a ball. No problem, which is great. The size factor is what's there too. Is A.J. Brown was a stock dude. Like, he could break tackles like no other. Now, I'll sit here as a Philly fan, and I'll say this right now. I would love for Philly to go out and get somebody like a Deebo Samuels yet. Get that body size back, because Deebo Samuels is built almost like an A.J. Brown. They're pretty close in similarities. So I wouldn't mind Howie Roseman going out and making that move and signing Deebo Samuels to get that size factor back. Because believe it or not, I believe Deebo Samuels can still be productive. He was productive in San Francisco, got traded to Washington because he had a bad year in San Francisco, and then went to Washington and didn't have the greatest year. Deebo Samuels is still a young guy. He's still got a lot of time in this league. Now, I said it 2 weeks ago when we did the whole free agent thing that I could see him signing in Las Vegas, but I would not mind if he got signed to Philadelphia to give us back that size factor in the wide receiver room. Just saying. I wouldn't mind it. So, last bit of news, and I think we're going to be getting out of here a little early today, which I'm not mad about. We can get out of here a little early today. It was just announced today that July 9th, the release of College Football 2027. So you video game players that play football games, College Football 27 will be out on July 9th, and the cover art was released today. Let's take a look at this thing real quick. This is the cover art for College Football 2027. It looks great. You got Ole Miss, Oregon, Miami right on the front there. Ole Miss, much deserving with the way they played this past season. Miami making it to the national title game, front and center right there. I mean, and then Oregon, who's always been one of those teams that have been in the mix of things, right there front and center. But this is the art for the College Football 27 game. Beautiful art. And I'm excited for me and John to get into our College Football 27 dynasty. We are currently doing our 26 dynasty. We haven't done much streaming for it lately, but we did just start a new season. I think season 12 we are into now. But we will be ending. We'll be playing the rest of the season we're in now, and then we'll be playing one more season. Then we'll be taking a break before College 27 comes out. Probably about a week break before we get into the College Football 27 stuff. So as far as streaming anything College Football 27, that's yet to be known. But, yeah, I'm sure me and him will make that decision when the time comes. But that's the College Football 27 art that was released today. And as soon as we have the Madden 27 art, we'll talk about that too. So, but that's it, guys. That's all we got. That's it. I didn't do a player spotlight today. I apologize. Like I said, I had time. I just did not have the ambitions to do it. I'll have one for next week, though. I will have a player spotlight for next week's show, and for us to do. So we're gonna get out of here, guys. Before we do, make sure you're heading over to the Huddle Hub Podcast over on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, X, and on Epic Studios at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're gonna hit that follow button On the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That's how you follow on the YouTube and our Twitch channel as well. All of the social media links are in the Twitch bio. Just make sure you go there and click on the one you desire to go to and help us build the Huddle Up podcast through the rest of the 2026 NFL offseason and beyond. If you want to follow me on social media, MetalMike714 all across the board, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X. That's where you can find me. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to take a little extra time to myself today since we don't have anything else. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Take care of each other. Be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll see you then for the next edition of the Huddle Hub Podcast. Until then, have a great week. Deuces.